This episode of On the Line is presented to you by Living.fit, your one stop for all your fitness needs. Make sure you go download the app Living.fit today. Now here's the show. Welcome to On the Line. Today is Friday, February 11th. We got a great show for you guys. We got Michael Chiesa up here in just a second. But first and foremost, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you're listening on Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, whatever, hit that follow button. Maybe leave a review. We appreciate you guys. Anyway, Michael Chiesa coming up here in a second. Awesome interview. It was like actually perfectly timed. You have to listen and all the way to the end to figure that out. But anyway, great interview. We wrap up with our medals for the week and give you a little UFC 271 for dummies. But anyway, without further ado, here is Michael Chiesa. All right, we are joined by the one, the only, the Maverick, Michael Chiesa. Mike, what's up, man? How's getting ready for the airport?
Yeah, headed to the airport now, headed to Houston, man. Looking forward to it. Everybody that's watching this interview, be sure to tune into the weigh-in show. If this is before the fights, it's on Friday at 8:50 Central Time on the UFC YouTube channel.
I think this is coming out. This will be coming out like literally right before that. So literally after this interview, go straight to the weigh-in show.
Wait, you know I had to hit my plug on the way to the airport.
Oh, well, we're all about that. Oh, got a plug. Are you? Is that when you guys are playing basketball? UDC and Anik?
Yeah, there's something like that going on. We'll see what happens. I've heard mixed rumors about what we're going to be doing, so should be a good time.
You should bring the skateboard and force him to skate.
I asked my fiance as I was walking out the door if I should bring my skateboard. Should I bring my skateboard? Change my mind. I do bring it with me places too, which is like I feel like they tortured me with that. Like we'll let DC and these guys skateboard, and then we'll make Mike shoot the best.
They did. Wait, of course they did the skateboarding thing when you're not there too. What was the when was the last time you shredded that? When was the last time you shredded that shredded the board?
I haven't skateboarded at all this winter. But I went snowboarding. Usually I go all the time. It's just we haven't really gotten any new snowfall, so it's probably been about a week and a half or so. But that's something I do a lot in the winter. Like we're talking, if there's new snow coming every day, I'm up on the mountain every day. So like out where I live, there's like one big ski resort and 4 small ski mountains, probably all within like an hour and a half of my house. So there's a lot of options.
That's one of the best things about Washington. So there's this. I wasn't originally asked this made me very curious. So like the IFB you put in your ear, I don't know why I've never thought of this before, but like all you guys have cauliflower ears. Do they have to make a special one for you guys for the earpieces?
Oh no, it's like a pretty small little like earbud. It's not like an AirPod. Like I had if I could do, so you know they have like the new AirPods and the old ones. If I could do an old AirPod in this really bad ear and the new one in this ear, they would work great. But like I don't really do good with the earbuds unless they're like the really small ones that just kind of slide right in. So yeah.
If you don't know what an IFB is, like they're pretty small usually, but I mean I don't know.
Yeah. So it just this ear will be like kind of uncomfortable after I've had it in for a long time. I'll kind of take it out to kind of let it hang on the outside, so I have to put it in. But small price to pay, I guess.
Well, speaking of you being an analyst, all that, I want to throw some props your way. You've been on the Rachmaninoff train for it feels like forever now. So got to give you props for the Rachmaninoff kind of being on that train for a while.
Yeah, he's actually we're under the same management company, Ruby Sports Entertainment, and he told me, my manager Daniel, he told me about the Shavkat before he fought on Fight Island, and I'm pretty sure he had his opponent fall out. And it was Cowboy that came in on short notice, and you're like, dude, I know this guy's undefeated, but that's an uphill battle for your UFC debut, and he trashed it. And I was like, wow, like you don't really see guys on their UFC debut go out and put it on a guy like Cowboy Oliveira in literally 3 minutes, knee into the body, ended up getting that guillotine choke. So yeah, the guy's legit, dude. I'm glad we're on the same team. He's on the rise. Like if I caught him now, I think I'd be all right with any of these guys. Like I'm in my prime right now. Like I'll beat anybody on any given day within the top 15, all the way from the bottom to the top. But by the time that guy's cracking the top 8, like I'm gonna be like 36, 37. I'm like, all right, bud, have at him. I cleared them out for you. Finish him
No,
off.
he's gonna be once he's in his prime, he's gonna be a dangerous guy, very dangerous
Oh,
guy.
dude, yeah, he's unreal. He's
No,
unreal.
but no, but talking about you though, let's go back to you though. The main focus of the interview, obviously, Michael Chiesa as the guest. I mean, obviously, the last few fights haven't gone your way, but you can make the case like the first. I mean, with the Luque fight, just a little aggressive, just didn't go your way. I mean, you were in position, just kind of got aggressive. The last fight, it was a very, very close fight, but there's nothing where you're like, ah, shit, I really should have done this, or this. It was just didn't go your way. I'm assuming the confidence,
Just
though,
ran out of
as it
time.
sounds, is just still, yeah, exactly. You ran out of time. If it was a made 5-rounder, which you've been in before, could have gone your way.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm assuming confidence then for you is still at an all-time high as it was after, let's say, like the Magny fight.
Yeah, for sure. Nothing's changed. Like, those are fights. Even the losses I've had prior to that fight, these last two fights, I've never really had somebody just go out there and totally kick my ass and put me out. Like, I've been finished. Obviously, I'm a live by the sword, die by the sword type of fighter. But I've had moments in all those fights where I've been winning. So it's not like I'm getting blown out. So it's it's an ongoing. This is like a masterless journey. There's like, just when you have these big wins, it's like you don't put too much emphasis. You focus on like the things you did good. You know what I mean? And it's hard to kind of go and look at what you should have done better when everything went right. But it's when you lose that you're like, okay, now I got to look at the big glaring thing that led to this happening. And you have to be honest with yourself in those types of situations, otherwise you won't grow. So, the Brady fight, like the takeaway is I mean, I got to find the balance. It's like, Luque, I'm out there gunning for the finish right from the rip. Things don't go my way. Then the Brady fight, it's like I laid off the gas too much because of that last fight. So it's like, all right, I got to find the happy medium. So it's not nothing in my training. I'm always well prepared. It's just something within myself, which can be sometimes that's the harder thing to put your thumb down on.
You can only train so much, but sometimes it's all about getting minutes in the cage. That's really what it is in the day. It's really the only way you can really grow.
Yeah, and Paul Felder and I were just talking about this yesterday. You can do as much as we're saying, you got to make sure in the game, and that can be the hardest thing to master sometimes. So, it's just kind of one of those things where it's something within myself, not something within the physical aspect of the sport.
I will say we lost about half that answer, but you know what? We got a great back half of it. Gotta love Zoom. But like, what is the plan for you going forward? I heard you say possibly like the summer. That's when you want to get back into the octagon.
Yeah, I'm getting married in May, so we're just kind of really focusing on the wedding. I know some guys like to squeeze in a fight right before they get married, but I just like on the safe side. It's just we can wait till afterwards. My body could use a break anyways. 3 fights in 11 months. I haven't done that since I was like 26 or something like that. So definitely put a little wear and tear on my body. Kind of thinking about shoulder surgery. Kind of thinking I might not do it. On the fence, but with all that being said, I just need time. So I think end of summer is an ideal time for me. Probably like I'd say August, maybe late August.
Okay. Well, say you don't want to go into a wedding with a black eye or any injury or anything like that. You want to be perfect.
I could give two shits about that. I'm like, if I show up with a cut or a black eye, that makes the wedding photos pretty cool. But
well, shit, go a little hard in sparring then. Let's do it.
Right? Like, what if I got like a knee brace or a sling or like something bad happened? I mean, you never know what's gonna happen when that octagon door closes, dude. It's like it's complete madness. There's no guarantee you're gonna be not gonna get yourself seriously injured, So it's like, yeah, right before the wedding, I'll just wean to the safe side for once, So, well, the good thing is once when the wedding gets over, the honeymoon's done, and I've cleared this, I moved on to this chapter of my life. I think I'm just gonna be really hungry to compete again. It's kind of you get kind of you gotta keep the fire stoked. You know what I mean? Like can't let that flame fizzle out. So I think that this will give me time to kind of get the flame going again and just get that real itch to compete.
Well, I want to talk about the hunger in a second. I have one question about the wife real quick in the wedding. Is it true you met your wife while you were dating one of her friends?
Yeah, I did. But this was like I met her when it's the Ultimate Fighter finale when I was kind of dating one of her friends, and her and I, my fiance now, we ended up becoming like really good friends for like 5 years. So it wasn't like I was like hanging with her friend. It was like, yeah, you're hot. I'm just gonna jump on, move on to the next one. It was like we were like bros for like 5 years, and then I was like, wow, maybe I like you now. Let's just get married.
I was like, I know someone who had a similar situation, but they didn't do it the nice way. They did it they cheated on their friend with their
That's
fiance.
fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. But I wasn't getting accused of anything, I was just asking the question. But I want to go back to the hunger question though. So like obviously getting married, have that hunger then, but was Juliana Pena beating Amanda Nunes, did that just make your hunger to win a title even greater? Now you kind of get like a secondhand high off of that win?
It was dude, for sure. It meant as much to her as it did to me. You know what I mean? And she knows that. It was it's a big moment for her, and I know everything she's been through, like, the amount of injuries, the amount of adversity she's gone through to get to that point. It just made it that much sweeter. And it also, like you said, it got me just way more hungry towards getting the title. I'm still right in the mix. And I know that once I get done with my wedding, get this all behind me, Julie's coaching Ultimate Fighter right now. They're going to rematch. So it's only going to get bigger from there. So yeah, it's going to make my comeback after this wedding that much better. Probably spend more time training with her, and our team's just rolling. We got good guys. We got good guys like me and Julie that are established at the top, and all the way down to like up and coming amateurs that are winning a lot of fights on the amateur circuit. So we have a lot of talent at those levels and in between. So it's gonna be a good couple years for us.
Oh yeah, damn right. So I just got one more question about the Juliana fight, and that is, what was the drink of choice that night? Not asking anything else. Was it mojitos?
No mojitos. I actually I was so tired after the fight that I went back to my Airbnb and went to bed. I was exhausted. I had a crazy travel day that.
Ari? Yeah.
We lost it.
He was there, then he wasn't.
How'd that happen?
I don't know. You were just saying crazy travel, and then Zoom. Man, we're having a great time on Zoom.
Crazy. It was just a crazy travel day. Like, our flight got canceled because of a snowstorm. We were stuck in Minnesota. So then we missed our connecting flight. We were in a rush to get to the fight. Then Julie wins. Had a couple cold ones. I was like, yeah, this fight's over. She won. I'm going to bed. I was cooked. I was tired. So yeah, there was really no drink of choice. I probably got up in the middle of the night, drink some water.
Well, yeah, I gotta drink a little water. Gotta hydrate. Always gotta hydrate. But yeah. So obviously you're going to Houston to be part of the broadcast team. I know what you really want to do is eventually you want to call a fight. How far away do you think you are from potentially joining the announcer's task?
That's a good question. It's tough to say. Those guys are pretty well established where they are. I commentate for LFA. I'll probably pick up some other regional shows between now and then, but I'm like not in a rush. Like, when I first started doing the analyst stuff and I started to get a taste of it, I was like, I'm ready to do commentary now. I was very anxious about it. Now I'm like, I gotta find, you gotta maintain balance. Like, being a competitor and doing broadcasting stuff and having everything else going on outside of that, you gotta maintain balance. So if I start going too hard, pushing towards commentary, would it pay off? I'm not sure, but I think it would definitely take away some of my focus. This should be on other things. They wouldn't even take away focus from like competition. It's just like, I have a lot of things going on at home as well. So it's like, I got to maintain balance there. So in due time, I think once competition starts to kind of slow down, I think that I'll start to pick things up there, but I'm in no rush. I know I'll get there sooner or later. There's no doubt in my mind.
So out of all the now let's go to the fact fight game. Out of all the stare downs you've ever had, who was the most intimidating, and why was it Justin Gaethje, even though it was just for a commercial?
It was just because you got to get into the role. Like, I've never done acting stuff, and that commercial really was not really acting. It was really just us kind of just being tough guys. But yeah, it was like, hey, like the first couple stare downs we did, we were kind of like half smirking. They're like, hey, like, no, we really want you guys to like get into this. Like, look at this guy like you want me. Like, you actually really want to fight him. Like, all right. Then we both did it, and I was like, oh shit. It's like staring down the barrel of a gun, dude. Like, not to mention, it's just ironic because Justin happens to be one of the coolest guys ever, but he's just the most violent man ever. So it was just crazy. You got to, for me, I'm like trying to put myself in that mindset, like, hey, you were in this weight class at one point in time, like, maybe get in that headspace, like you're actually facing off against him, like, maybe you guys are gonna fight or something. So once I did that, I was like, oh yeah, dude is something else.
He's kind of a killer. Kind of a killer.
You can see it in his cold stare. Yeah.
He's like the epitome of like MMA. You have these guys who look just like these innocent guys outside of the cage, and they get into the cage and they would kill you. Like if it was just like a one-on-one fist fight, they'd kill you. Like you could even say that about you too. I mean, you're just the nicest guy outside the cage. You get in the cage, just fuck people up.
Gotta flip the switch.
Gotta flip the switch. And so here's another thing, stare downs. You love doing the thing with Bruce Buffer. Like you and Bruce Buffer, every single time you fight, it's one of the coolest things to watch. Have you ever refused to fight because Bruce Buffer wasn't going to be on it?
No, never. I mean, shoot, it's never even been. I mean, it's never really been something I've thought of. But I mean, even if it was Joe Martinez, who would be the only other guy to fill in, he does a phenomenal job. But Bruce definitely makes the moment that much more special. It's like he's called every one of my UFC. He's called every fight of mine for the last 10 years. So it's it wouldn't throw me off at all. Joe does a great job, but Bruce is definitely still the man. Bruce is still the champion. Joe Martinez is like the number one contender. You know what I'm saying? It's like no disrespect to either guy, but there is pecking order there.
So, and I forgot to ask this earlier. It's like I heard you're a big sweater, right? Like you it doesn't matter what happens, you're just a big sweater. Like on the commercial shoot, you had to keep changing clothes because you were sweating so much.
No, I'm actually not a big sweater.
Really?
It was just, no. It was just really hot in that house. We were in the valley in LA, and it was like 104 degrees that day, and they had to keep the AC in the house off because the fans were getting picked up on the camera. So I was in a woven sweater and pants, and I was dying. So yeah, in that kind of circumstance, I'm gonna be sweating like a nun at a Slayer concert. Like I was like dumping sweat, but I mean, it was like being in the sauna. You know what I mean? It was not normal circumstances.
I was gonna sympathize with you because like I'm a big sweater. I'm an any like right now my pits are probably disgustingly wet. It's just like I have these lights on me. I know it's making me gross, but I gotta go back. I want to go back to skate a little bit. But what's more tiring and more draining? 3 days at a Dave Matthews concert or trying to film the perfect skate reel?
Those are two different kinds of tired. Skateboarding is like physical abuse tired. Like people don't realize. I post clips on my Instagram story all the time of like skateboard tricks and sometimes slams because I always try to emphasize to people, like I tell them I grew up skateboarding. That was kind of like my first real sport that I was into, that I was good at. Like how the heck how was that your first sport, and how does that transition to skateboarding or transition to mixed martial arts? I always say skateboarders are so fucking tough. Like if you watch the way the guys at the highest level, we're talking car wreck type slams with the pavement. Like it just makes you tough. So for me, even though I'm not near that level, if I'm out trying to film tricks, it's going to entail me slamming with the pavement. So that's like physical abuse type of stuff. Or like Dave Matthews, like sore legs or being tired and a wicked hangover type of feeling. You know what I mean? Like it's two separate categories. It's hard to pit them against each other.
Okay. So, that was one thing too about skateboarding is I feel like it's got to be. Oh, my camera's going off. We are too. Anyway, the one thing about skateboarding too is didn't it condition you a little bit to kind of get used to the physical abuse of like being a mixed martial artist?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's something that like me and my buddy Eric Spicer talked about. Like he was a really good skateboarder as well, and it's just like it definitely teaches you how to deal with just having like being sore, being tired, having to kind of like push through something when you're hurt. Like when you're skateboarding, you take a bunch of slams, like you're obviously hurting your body or injuring your body, but you don't want to stop unless you're absolutely structurally shot. So it kind of teaches you how to deal with injuries and like kind of push through them, and it's definitely a good quality to have. I just have bad ankles now. That's like the only downside.
I feel that. I have bad ankles too. But anyway, I know we're running out of time. I have two more questions real quick. Then we're going to do the segment I haven't even told you about. It's a lot of fun. But first one is, I know another plug. Yeah, you're doing a meet and greet when this is posted later today with Eric Anders. What's the weirdest thing you've ever signed?
Weirdest thing I've ever signed? I've signed a pair of boobs. I mean,
that's not weird. Like that's just tight.
A long time ago. Yeah, it's just like it was at
Okay.
Long time ago.
Long time
But
ago.
nothing really comes with anything weird, really.
Okay. All right. So this is the last question. This is something that actually happened today. I'm assuming you've seen this already. Was Derek Brunson saying he only is going to fight 2 more times and then he's going to retire? I'm just curious from a fighter's perspective, why would you do that when kind of it's notorious if you say I'm going to retire soon? Usually Dana's like giving title shots to those guys. So I'm kind of curious, like, why do you think he came out and said that?
It's tough to say. There could be a lot of reasons to it. I mean, this is a guy that's been around a long time. He's been competing since Strikeforce. He's up in, his upper 30s. He's got to be 37 years old, maybe 38. And he's had a lot of fights. So maybe he just wants to go out while he's on top. He's got to win this weekend. Did he take 2 more fights after this one, or this one is?
No, it said he said he wants to beat Cannonier, then he wants to beat Adesanya.
And that could very well happen. And good for him if it does. But each their own. I think it's easy. I think that if things weren't going your way and you were in a rough patch in your career and you said like, oh, these are my last 2 fights and I'm done, I think that can be bad. But it's like when you're on a roll and you got a lot of gas left in the tank, there's nothing wrong with setting that limitation on yourself, because at the end of the day, even if he loses the next 2 fights, he's still going to retire feeling like he still had something in the tank. Like he still could have won a couple more fights, but you know what? He can just pump the brakes no matter what.
You can make a kind of comparison to like Tom Brady retiring recently. He says, I'm not leaving the door out, but I'm retiring.
Why you don't have to be every expectation that an athlete has to retire with their shot. And I don't think that should be true. I think an athlete should retire but they still feel good. They still feel like they could have done well, So I don't like it when guys, especially Tom Brady, why wait until you have a fall from grace? You're in your mid 40s. That's going to be, if that day ever came, it would be a sharp descent. It wouldn't be like a gradual drop, So he did the right thing.
All right. So as I said, we're going to move on to this last segment because we're running out of time. It's a 5-level game. Yep. May not get to every level, but pretty much this is the way it works. If you like the question he asks, we move on to the next one. But if you don't like the question, you can tell him that question sucks, and then we wrap up.
Okay.
All right.
Do I answer the question?
If you like it, you answer. But if you don't like it, you're like, all right, that's it.
All right, let's run it.
All right, come on, Harry. Let's do it.
Let's get it. So first of all, Skate 3 or Pro Skater 2? Which one you taking?
Pro Skater 2, for sure. That's like a staple of my childhood. That's the one.
Yeah, that's a classic. I mean, Skate 3 is great for like the memes and the jokes with all the glitchiness in it, but Pro Skater 2 it's an all-timer.
Pro Skater 2 is the unlimited special in perfect balance, and you get yourself a heyday.
You can make some crazy combos. Crazy combos.
100%.
Level 2.
Level 2. All right. Was there someone who got you into skateboarding, or was this something you just kind of figured out yourself you were into?
It was like my sister and my cousin, like the friends, the people that they hung out with. Like my cousin Patrick was skateboarding with his friends, and I looked up to him a lot. He hung out with me and my sister, and she would always date these like skater guys and stuff. She's like only a few years older than me, so. And I started when I was 12, or 11. So I started at a young age. Yeah, it was just like being around my sister and my cousin and like their friends.
Nice.
Number 3.
All right. Last one about skateboarding. Do you have a favorite brand of skateboards that you usually go to buy, or do you just like pick one out in the store that you like the design of kind of thing, or?
I grew up, I really liked flip skateboards, and lately I've been riding, I got like an Enjoy skateboard. It was kind of too slim for me. I've been riding Zeros a lot. Like Zero has a good board. I like their decks a lot. I think the next board I get would probably be a Plan B, but for right now, I'm riding Zeros.
Nice.
Jamie Thomas.
Very nice.
Let's go.
All right, number 4.
All right. So when you do eventually make the move to commentary, which would be amazing, is there like a dream fight you would want to call between 2 specific fighters, or just looking forward to getting into it in general?
I'm just looking forward to getting into it in general. I've kind of got to see what the process entails, being around like DC and these guys and going to the fighter meetings. I'm just excited for the whole process. You know what I mean? From the time fight week starts, the fighter meetings, the weigh-ins, the drama. You're just like, those guys are so involved, and they're in the know. I'm a nosy guy, and they know like any drama, anything, they get to hear about it first. So it's like, I want to be on the end. Like, I want to be a part of these fights from the time fight week starts until it's time to fly home on Sunday. I would really like to be a part of the whole process in general.
Yeah, well, you got to trust the process, so it's a great thing. I had to get that in there. I'm sorry. But yeah, final question here. Do you have any predictions for the Super Bowl on Sunday? Everybody's looking forward to it.
Oh, my prediction for Super Bowl, it's going to be Joe Burr and the Bengals, and I'm saying it's going to be 24-23. I mean 24-21. 24-21. Sorry.
Still a good game.
No, 23 is no. You should stick with 23. That's no one else is going to say 23, but that's a doable score.
24-21, and Bengals kicker is going to steal the deal again, like he did the few times that he had to do in playoffs. So.
Shooter McPherson, the dude has ice in his veins.
He's an absolute stud. He's a savage. He's a savage. Anyway, so we wrapped it up. I think we did it just in time too. How far away are you from the airport? Did we time it up perfectly?
Literally just pulled up to the door.
Oh man!
Yes.
Oh man! All right, Mike. Have a good flight, man. All right, have a good one.
Have a good flight. Have a good one.
Take it easy. Sure, tune into the Wayne Show, 8:50 Central Time, UFC YouTube channel. Tune in 10 minutes before the fighters step on the scale. Peace out.
All right. See you, Mike.
Sir.
Awesome time catching up with Mike Chiesa. But before we get back to the show, I'm going to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.Fit. Living.Fit is a health and wellness company that'll help you achieve all your fitness goals, from building some muscle, losing fat, or maybe trying something a little bit new. Not only are there workout programs, but they can help with your nutrition and help you build out your home gym. And for all my personal trainers out there trying to get certified in kettlebell and battle rope movements, they're the place to be. Make sure you go check out the website and download the app, Living.Fit. Now here is back to the show. Awesome interview with Mike Chiesa. We had a lot more in store for him, but we kind of had to hurry up, as you could tell, with the trip to the airport. But we did time it up perfectly. No, that was some ball.
That worked out so well. Like I've never had anything time out that perfectly in anything in my life. That was perfect.
It was unreal. And that means he has to come back on the show now whenever I ask. So we'll see.
Absolutely,
we'll see. Anyway. So before we get to the UFC 271 preview, we're gonna go over our medals for the week. I'll go ahead and go first. My bronze medal of the week goes to social media beefs. So not only do you have Joel Embiid talking shit to Ben Simmons, but also earlier this week, you also had Kyler Murray unfollowing everything Cardinals related. So you had them all freaking out too. So all around, social media has been kind of crazy this week. I love the pettiness of these athletes nowadays, that they like don't even try to hide this shit. They just go straight to social media and do it.
No.
And I love this era because of that, because it's just ridiculous.
How long do you think Joel Embiid had that picture saved in his drafts?
I think he had it scheduled, because I think or something like that. He had once he found out. I bet you at some point when Doc Rivers canceled practice today, they probably told Joel, "Hey, he's gone." And Joel's like, "Oh, okay, thanks. Thanks for the heads up." And then he probably drafted it up right then and there.
Absolutely. I feel like Doc also canceled practice today to say goodbye to his grandchildren.
Yeah, no, I saw that. Yeah. He sacrificed his grandson and his grandchildren for a championship.
For James Harden. Family's nice and all, but that ring is even nicer.
Well, especially when you're Doc Rivers and you've blown like 4 3-1 leads. It's ridiculous. It's you got to go all in. Yep. But James Harden not too far off from that either. So not that combo. We'll see what happens. But anyway, about trades and all that stuff, we'll talk about on Tuesday. We're bringing our friend back too, so that'll be a fun conversation. Anyway. Harry, your bronze medal.
My bronze medal goes to Shamstrania, because I feel like this is the first time this has ever happened. But he has overtaken Woj in the amount of trades he broke.
People are saying that Woj is broken. He is washed up, and he is he's a washed up king.
So shout out Shams for getting those deals out like 30, 40 seconds before Woj could break them. I think he won 11-8 today. So bronze medal. Shout out to a goat in breaking news.
And may not be a preview for my next week losers, but no big deal or anything. Brian Windhorst, fucking bodied Woj. Just bodied him.
Oh yeah,
He said all week he said James Harden's gonna get traded to Philly, and Waj's like, no, being his little petite fucking bitch ass is like, they're not gonna make the trade. My
he's
sources
staying in
say that they're not
Brooklyn.
even talking about it. They're gonna wait until the middle of the offseason. Well, fuck off. Brian Windhorst's fat ass got it right. So let's go.
Yes,
Representing
sir.
the unit community.
Got my guy
We're
Windy.
representing
My
the
guy
unit
Windy.
community. Anyway.
Yeah.
Moving on. Talking about grandchildren, just children in general. My silver medal. It goes to Gary Payton. You know why I picked Gary? Did you see this story? No, for all
No,
of
I
you who did not
didn't.
see
What
this
did he
story,
do?
Gary Payton had 2 sons in the same year, and he gave them both the same name, Gary. So he has 2 different Gary Payton Juniors out there. So that hopefully one of them will make it to the NBA. Obviously, there's one in the NBA, but that means there's another Gary Payton Jr. out there. How does that work with the names? Is this the first one's Gary Payton Jr. and the next one's Gary Payton 3? Or was it Gary Payton just said, whichever one makes it to the NBA gets the junior?
Yeah. No, I'd like to see that family reunion. Hi, I'm Gary Payton Jr.
I'm
No,
Gary
wait,
Payton
I'm
Jr.
Gary Payton Jr. Wait,
That's
hang
some big
on.
baller shit.
But are you the real Gary Payton Jr.?
Big baller shit from Gary Payton.
It
Again,
really
as
is.
I say this every
It
single
really
time we have
is.
some weird shit like this. This is like when Lance Stevenson's whole family was named Lance, but spelled different ways. This is kind of like Gary Payton doing the same fucking shit by naming both of his sons Gary. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
shocked if there's more Gary Payton Juniors out there. So be on the lookout. Be on Gary Payton Jr. Watch list. So that's my silver medal goes to
Yeah.
Gary Payton's balls and his naming skills. So, oh, they're also with 2 different women. I don't know if I
top tier.
pointed that out. They're also 2 different women. So
Even better.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
better.
yeah. All right.
So your half brother's named Gary Payton Jr.
Yeah.
So do do 2 halves make a whole Gary Payton? Is that
I don't
like
know. Gary Payton on the Warriors is pretty. He's nice. He's pretty nice. He's nice.
Yeah,
Anyway,
he
let's
is.
move on from Gary Payton and his children. Let's move on to your silver.
My silver medal goes to Daryl Morey and his love for James Harden, because wherever Daryl winds up, James always.
I wish we had
eventually
Game of
ends up
Zones
too.
back. Like this would have been
I
such a good
know.
episode.
I
This would have been such a good
know.
episode.
It would have been It would have been a banger.
That was the most disappointing
that
thing,
was-
and like that's one of the most disappointing things in sports history is Game of Zones being canceled or ended.
Yep. Ending. I mean, it made sense that they had to end it with Game of Thrones, but considering Game of Thrones ending was also a disappointment, it only makes sense that ending Game of Zones.
Game of Zones also
was
started to
even
do
more
their own thing at that
disappointing.
point too. It was
I
they really
know.
could have branched
So
off.
they could have
Yeah.
kept going, but I would have loved to see a Game of Zones episode about this week and just the whole Ben Simmons drama as a whole. That would have been great.
fantastic. It would have been
yeah.
fantastic.
Daryl Morey and James Harden,
Linked together.
Just
2 peas in a pod. 2
links.
peas in a pod.
best friends for
Yep.
life.
All right, so my gold medal for this week. It's been kind of kept under the wraps, but it's still my gold medal. It's Boobgate. It'll start being
Boobgate.
talked about a lot probably starting tomorrow when do weigh-ins. You see him with a shirt when he sees you with a shirt off. He actually photoshopped one of his last pictures to hide his little gyno Boobgate. So it's real, like it's fucking real. And when you see him without a shirt this weekend, be on the lookout for his little boob. So Boobgate gets my gold medal just purely off the fact that he has hidden it all week. And I'm just gonna say it now, as of Thursday, February 10th at 6:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it has not bumped up yet. But by fight time, everyone will be talking about the
By
boob.
fight time.
Anyway,
Absolutely.
so that's a
Absolutely.
premature gold medal that could backfire. That's like kind of giving the Lakers the best championship odds this year.
Hell yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
all right, wrap us up here.
So my gold medal goes to one of the nicest stat lines I've ever seen. Burke Rude, I may have just butchered his name, but he's a freestyle skier in the Olympics right now, going for the big air. First ever time this has ever happened in the Olympics. He dominated the first 2 rounds, wrapped up the gold medal, and then said screw it on his last round and got a unanimous score from every single judge of 69. Every single judge gave him a 69. So nice. It's a very
No one
nice
watches the
gold medal
Olympics, so
this
no one
week from
probably
Burke
saw
Rude.
that until someone blew that up on Twitter.
TikTok
Yeah.
and Twitter. That's where
Yeah.
I saw it. I was like, oh, that's the best sports story for this week.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a way to wrap it up
And
right there.
it's weird. No one
Just
really. I usually like the Winter Olympics. I just haven't spent a minute watching it. So
it's hard when the time zones are so different. Like
yeah, and to time
they're getting
zones, I
into it.
also like. I'm super
Yeah,
into like. I'm so into college basketball and gambling. Like I just don't give. If I'm not gambling on it, I just don't care. No one cares about your bets, but like
yeah.
I
No,
just
no
I
one
just don't
cares.
care
No.
about watching the United States just dominate everyone in every sport that we possibly could.
Yeah.
Speaking of dominating Americans, let's move on to UFC 271, where there's really no dominating American except for Alexander Hernandez and Will Knight, but we'll get to that later.
They're great.
Anyway, so as you are friends, as you are aware, if you've watched this before, we like to call this UFC for Dummies. So this is UFC 271 for Dummies. We kind of explain some stuff through and through. We're not experts by any means, especially casual Harry here. But we're not we're not experts. We just walk you through, kind of explain things in a simple way. I try to give you guys a couple fights like in the prelims to look out for, and then I kind of give you basic shit to walk you through the main event card. If you're watching with your friends, you can pull some shit out of your ass. You're like, oh, how'd you know that? Oh, I listen to UFC for Dummies, and so I don't know. Let's go ahead and get started on this. There no bias whatsoever in our program, by the way. And there's also zero
None at
bias in
all.
the fact that all four people have come on the program before that we're talking about in the prelims. So let's just go ahead and start with Carlos Ulberg versus Fabio Charant. Yeah, no bias. And actually, this is dead ass. I think Ulberg's going to win. He's going to win by knockout in the first 3 minutes. In his last fight, his debut, he was extremely highly touted prospect. Israel Adesanya, main eventer, no big deal. He's talking about how Ulberg's been clipping him and sparring, all that other kind of shit. He clips Kennedy Njoku, wherever the fuck he say his name, and then just can't finish him. We talked to him afterwards, and you know why he couldn't finish him? He didn't realize that he can take him to the ground and start ground and pounding him. So it's like one of those things where Carlos didn't really
Wow.
even know the rules of MMA properly yet. So after talking to him earlier, if you haven't checked out that interview, go check it out. He's really candid. Not gay, but like in the weird, I don't know how to describe this. Like his voice gives you like chills. I don't know how to describe it. He has like a super chill voice that has you like tingle. I don't know how to describe it. I'm not saying anything like that, but I'm just saying Anyway, he's gonna finish this guy. Toronto's kind of had a past of being a little chinny. He didn't get knocked out by our boy Will Knight, which we'll get to later. But I think this is a big spot for Ulberg. UFC knows what they're doing. They're trying to set him up for success going forward, and kind of a division that's kind of open, pretty wide open. So anyway, let's move on to our next fight. I don't have any analysis here. It's Alexander the Great Hernandez versus Renato Moicano. I don't think you even need analysis. Hernandez KO within the first 60 seconds. It's happening. Book it. Write it. Book it. Bet it. That's all you need to know.
He seemed locked the fuck in when we were talking.
Well, that's not
to
even the
him,
reason why I'm
so-
saying that. I'm just saying that because he has rocks. Sledgehammers for fists. But no, he seems pretty locked in. He seems pretty at peace. I think he's pissed off too. He's an early prelim. I don't know if he's picked this up. He was super pissed about being an early prelim. He's like, after talking about his like walkout and all that, he's like, I'm so fucking pumped. I'm gonna get the people moving, and there's only gonna be like maybe a couple thousand people there for him. But I bet this card's fucking loaded. I'm not, and like we're only going over the fights of like the guys we know for the prelims, but like this card really is top to bottom. It's fucking loaded. Like if you can watch the entire thing, watch the entire thing. Just get fucked up. This weekend's a great sports weekend. You got that. You got college basketball during the day until then. Then you got the Super Bowl on Sunday. Like, just have a good time. Go on a bender. Just go on a casual bender this weekend, right?
Real chill bender.
Real chill bender. Real chill bender. You're not really sober until Monday morning, or maybe Monday afternoon. Maybe Monday afternoon. Just a casual.
15 beers
a casual
a day.
Case. A casual weekend case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't need to. It's not a marathon. You can start drinking at like 8 a.m. Finish it up by 10. But like real casual.
Well, as a fitness company, I gotta tell you, please don't. But also as a human being, casual case. Or you're a bitch.
Casual case.
Anyway, next fight, Will Knight versus Maxime Gershine. So originally I was a little hesitant. I didn't want to go right away and just say Will's gonna win. Especially because now that we're doing this, I kind of was looking into it gambling wise too. Again, no one cares about your bets, but I was looking into it a little bit. So again, no bias whatsoever. I genuinely believe Will's gonna win. Maxime's competent. He hasn't won he's won one fight in the UFC. I can't even tell you who the guy's name is. I also don't know how to pronounce it. So just by that alone, Not a very
Yeah.
impressive win. Well, on the other hand, short notice comes in late. Sometimes, most of the time, I don't know how this works, but I swear on God, if it's on a main event, people who come in late notice almost always win. Even on main events too. It's the weirdest thing. It's like a phenomenon, but it's also because the guys who are already fighting were preparing for someone else. That comes on short notice is just kind of going in there with nothing to lose. So that's not the main thing.
Yeah.
I really do believe Will's going to win. Like Maxime's only win was also 2 years ago. I don't think I will.
So he's
So
rusty.
he's rusty. I'm not going to say KO too, just because that's how the confidence here. So I don't think he's going to get a KO. I think Maxime's got a chin, but I think Will's going to win. He's going to, he's going to show that wrestling he was talking about, broken collarbone and all that. Will Knight for the W. Take him by decision.
Yep.
May have some good, might have a good number there. No one cares about your bets. Alex Perez, Matt Schnell, another friend of the program, Alex Perez. So this fight, for those who aren't aware, has been scheduled like 5 different times. Pull that one out of your ass, and people are like, oh, really? And you look it up. It's been booked actually 3 times is the actual number. It has literally been booked 3 different times. The last time, though,
They just couldn't get it going.
what happened the first time was Perez was pulled out to fight Davison Figueiredo for the title. I think. No, he was fighting. No, check that. He was supposed to fight Brandon Moreno, so he has to get that fight back at some point. But this fight has been pulled off 3 different times. So this has kind of been a fight in the making. But again, pull that out at the fight party. People are like, oh, really? Interesting. And you'll look really smart.
Good stuff.
And like, Harry, you can pull that out this weekend and be like, oh, really? Like, oh, that makes sense. You are a UFC podcast, MMA podcast. So the one thing about flyweights, though, is like these guys are 125 pounds. Most of them don't really hit too hard to where like you get knockouts. Most of the finishes are usually by submission. But our boy Alex, out of his 9 fights in the UFC, 7 are by finish. So this he's a finishing machine. Schnell kind of fell up too in competition. He lost to Rontorio Bortin, and now he's fighting Alex. So we'll see how it goes. I really do think Alex is going to win. I don't know if it's going to be by finish or anything like that. I do not have that kind of analysis, but Perez is also like a minus 500 favorite or some shit like that. So I'm not too crazy by saying that. So those are your prelims, and the only other fight that I could really out of the like if I wasn't being completely unbiased in any of our preview whatsoever, I actually would pick all those fights to like kind of talk about. This I have to go over one more time. The only fight I would genuinely talk about that we didn't even talk about was AJ Dobson versus Jacob Malkoun. And then Mike Matheda versus Jeremiah Wells. Purely at the fact that Mike Matheda's real name is Blood Diamond. He's opening the card. Blood Diamond is opening the card. It is the best name in the UFC and in MMA, in my opinion. So watch out for Blood Diamond. Watch out for Let's get into the main card.
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, I think there's the 2 big fights. I just hope everyone has fun. But let's start with the first card. First fight: Bobby Green. Nasrat Haqparast. I think that's how I say his last name. I'm a dipshit, and I'm gonna hear it on Saturday. And like, oh wow, I'm terrible with names. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay. Bobby Green is on the verge of a similar rise as Jorge Masvidal. And by the way, I say that he got a knockout over a guy who's super durable in Ali Quinta. That's nothing to scoff at. But it's not like Nasrat's been fighting a bunch of bum asses. His last loss is to Dan Hooker, and he's had a pretty good rise in the division. He's part of this young crop of really good talent in the lightweight division. So this fight won't not end early. This will probably go the distance, but watch out for Bobby Green. If you remember from our Chris Barnett interview, remember what Chris Barnett said about Bobby Green?
Yeah.
He said Bobby Green might have a dope-ass entrance. So we'll see.
Yes.
I hope he does it. I heard him at Media Day, said he got fined for the Joker face he had on for face-offs. We'll see if he pulls it off. I'm very excited to see what happens. All I know, we will have an effect on a UFC entrance at some point. Soon. It's happening. Hopefully. We'll see. We'll see if he pulls through with it. Anyway, this fight, it'll be a fun fight. It'll be a decision, but this could be fight of the night. There's some other contenders, but this, if I had to put money on it, I'd say this one. Moving on, Kyler Phillips, Marcel Rojo. So Kyler Phillips is coming off a controversial split decision. Rojo has had 3 fights canceled on him since his last fight against Charles Jourdain. And he hasn't fought to a decision since 2013. However, Kyler Phillips has fought to a couple decisions. So a sneaky good fight. I'm kind of surprised this one is this far up in the card. I thought this one might open up, but they probably want Bobby Green to open up the card because Bobby fucking Green, baby. But Kyler Phillips, Marcel, don't have a whole lot to say other than I think it's going to be a sneaky good one. Kyle, ooh,
Jeez.
you okay?
Yeah, all
You
good.
sure?
Allergy season.
Go get tested.
Yeah,
Go get
just
tested.
sneeze.
Yeah, so Phillips, we'll see if he can bounce back from that weird controversial decision against Paiva. Moving on to probably the second biggest fight of this entire card, which is Derek Brunson versus Jared Cannonier. We got Blonde Brunson on a streak. It's wild to see how everything's gone for him over the past couple past years. But if I had to say competition was kind of weak before this fight, I'd say it's kind of weak. I love Blonde Brunson. I think he's funny as hell. But he fought Darren Till on a torn ACL, so his takedown defense was just dog shit, and that's why he was taken down so easily, submitted so easily, blah 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 blah. He got cracked a couple times in that fight, and then before that, he beat the shit out of Kevin Holland, and Kevin Holland's grappling and jiu-jitsu is just also not good, and that's also why he won.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to take anything away from Blonde Brunson, but he has been a gatekeeper for the middleweight division for a while, and Cannonier is on the verge of a title shot. Cannonier is one nuke away from finishing Brunson and getting the title shot, and genuinely that's how I do see this fight going. As Cannonier wins. He could also win by. I think he can win by decision. He has good takedown defense. It'll be interesting to see how Brunson deals with all this. This one definitely will be. It'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully. But Cannonier is a fucking dog. He's a fucking dog.
Cross your fingers.
It should be. Well, like odds are,
Yeah.
with the way this card's talked about, it's probably gonna suck. I don't know why, but it just will. Because you know how I say, like, when everyone expects a card to suck, it sucks. It's great, but when they say it's gonna be great, it kind of sucks. Doesn't work.
Yeah. This is one of the most hyped up cards I've seen so far.
Yeah, and the one that was the only one I've really seen get hyped up to hell and actually really delivered was the oh my god, Kamaru Usman Colby Covington card in November with Gaethje Chandler, all that. Like, the Gaethje Chandler fight was fucking unreal. Things like that. Like that card that really was, delivered. That card delivered. Did you even watch? Did you? So this was before you were here. Did you watch that one?
Yeah. No, I did not, but even I caught the hype up to it, and like that was nuts.
Yeah, that one was a big fight. What's disappointing about this card too is I feel like there is a little bit of hype in it, but it's not. We're not hyping it up as much because like Israel is one of the most fun guys to watch fight. Dude's electrifying. He's electrifying. I love watching that guy fight. I hope the press conference is actually about to happen too, so hopefully we get some good shit talk between Izzy and Whitaker. Again, two nice motherfuckers, and for some reason they hate each other. Which they are fighting each other, but like I genuinely do think they hate each other. So it's real animosity.
I mean, what, this is their second bout against each other?
Second fight against each other.
Yeah.
Whitaker won't. Which we'll get to in a second. We'll go to Tai Tuivasa, the Shuivasa versus Derek Lewis. Man, this is another. This is the first one where I'm really like. I just hope everyone has fun. No one gets too hurt. But Derek Lewis is going to nuke Tai Tuivasa. It's 100%. Tai got cracked by Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy's doesn't hit. He does not hit as hard as Derek Lewis. Derek Lewis is going to sleep Tai Tuivasa. It's Tai could like chop out his legs and all that, but whatever. But like if this fight here, I'll put it this way: this fight will end in a finish. It's just a matter of which one gets cracked. I don't think Lewis is going to get cracked. I think it's going to be Tai. That's the other thing. I think Lewis is a pretty durable fighter. I'll chug a bottle of hot sauce if this doesn't end by KO.
I'm gonna do that live.
I will
on
do
pod.
that. I don't know. I will do it I will stream it live too, so it's not like bitch made. I will chug a bottle of hot sauce and destroy my asshole. Like this.
Perfect.
I would say Lewis too, but I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna go that far because Tai does have hands. He does have hands. And to be fair, last time Derek Lewis was in Houston, he kind of faltered to pressure, but he said it was because of like that was like the year anniversary. That was like the anniversary of him getting out of jail. Anyway. Good guy, Derek Lewis. Let's move on. Israel Adesanya, Robert Whitaker. So what I was going to get to earlier, Whitaker, he's definitely evolved. He's not going to be coming into this fight kind of being as he lunged too much with the shots. He was sloppy. This time he's going to be a lot more technical, a lot more precise. It's going to be a lot closer than the first one. Yeah, he's going to tighten everything up. It's going to be a lot closer than it was. But the thing that's blowing my mind is how everyone's acting as if. I think you've probably even heard this too. Was they're talking about how Izzy's ground game is terrible and how Whitaker is going to take advantage of it. Blah 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 blah. He just fought Marvin Vettori, who's arguably the best grappler in that division, and he pointed him 50-45. Whitaker's not going to grapple fuck Israel Adesanya. People need to get the fuck out of here with this talk. He was grapple fucked by Jan Blachowicz, who's a 205 pounder, and when they fought in the octagon, it's probably like Izzy's probably like 210 pounds. Blachowicz was like 245. So let's get the fuck out of here with this. Ground game sucks.
Yeah.
He's been a great takedown defense artist his entire career in UFC, pretty much. So I don't know where that's coming out. This fight, I really do hope ends. I've never said this in my life. I hope this fight ends a decision. No one gets murdered. I hope it's decisive, though, so there's no question marks.
Yes.
I love Whitaker.
There needs to be a sure winner.
Well, there was a
this
sure
time.
winner last time.
But you
Yeah,
know,
I
what
don't
mean,
want.
like,
I don't want this to.
there-
I don't want
it
this to
needs
fall into a
be-
trilogy. I want to keep this division moving. Hopefully, Cannonier beats Brunson.
Mhm.
We get Cannonier versus Izzy. Keep something new. People are gonna be like, "Oh, Izzy hasn't fought someone with this much power since Jan Blachowicz, and we saw what happened last time. He got grapple fucked." I don't know. It's just all this other kind of dumb shit, stupid storylines. But yeah, I just hope everyone has fun in the octagon. I hope they can become friends. Because I think if they weren't fighting each other, they would be friends. But who knows? It's gonna be a fun card. It's gonna be a fun fight. If I had to put my money on anything, as I said, I will chug a bottle of hot sauce if Ty and Lewis don't go the distance. Other than that, the only other one I'd probably say, looking at everything, is Carlos Ulberg to win by finish, which I have, or win by KO. I have no idea what the odds are. I'm gonna try to find it. The book I used, for some reason, the props aren't up. I'm gonna try to pull it up now, Harry. While I look this up, what do you got? What are your thoughts so far and what you heard?
I'm just looking forward to a good card. Again, I don't have too much insight to put in, other than I kind of want to see Izzy win. I'm a big guy. I'm a big fan of Izzy's. I think he's a fun fighter to watch.
He's great
and
for people like you
how
who
can you
are
not like-
casuals who don't really understand a sport. If he keeps winning, it's good to bring in more casuals.
Yeah. And how can you not like the style bender?
I know.
Like
It's a great
that's
nickname.
it,
Great nickname.
it's
But
a great nickname.
You know what
And he
Whitaker's
just
is?
brings so much
You know what
energy to
Whitaker's
the
is?
ring. Or the
The
what?
Reaper. And when he walks out, he has like his hood up. Whitaker is intense as fuck when he walks into the octagon. It makes me want to beat my chest when he does it. It's weird. Anyway,
Yeah.
Ulberg win by KO is minus 135. Jesus criminy. Can I take Ulberg to win by KO in round one? I should be able to.
Let's see
Yeah.
here. Which app are you
I'm-
checking? I'm
I'm
checking
on
FanDuel.
DraftKings, but that's all like the same prices. Anyway, yeah. I'm not gonna say take a bet because no one gives a shit about your bets. But I will chug a bottle of hot sauce if Tai Tuivasa and Derek Lewis somehow goes to a decision. Yeah. I can't believe I'm doing this. This is not good. Not good for me. Good for everyone else because I know people love watching me suffer. I think the last time I put myself in this position, I had my head shaved. I also have had
For
my
the
face
kids.
face shoved in a sheet cake for someone's birthday. I take damage for people, man. Anyway,
For the kids.
FTK baby, FTK. Anyway, that's the show.
FTK.
It'll be a fun card. We'll have a post show, maybe that night, maybe the morning after. We'll see. It'll be up sometime before Sunday at noon.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's that. Next week, obviously, we got Jamal Hill, we got Kyle Dawkins. We already did that interview. That interview kicks ass. Don't know about Jamal, but
Hell of
Jamal's
an
gonna be
interview.
fun. We purposely did it after the Super Bowl. He's a big Stafford guy, so that'll be fun. And then we'll talk trades with our boy James Arca, either Tuesday or next Friday. We might do it next Friday, just because the show on Tuesday is kind of loaded. So we'll figure it out. Let's have a weekend. Have fun. Remember, Bender or you're a pussy.
Yep. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around with me all the way to the end. I just want to once again thank the sponsor of the show, Living.fit. If you're looking to better yourself, make sure you go to download the app or visit the website Living.fit today.